Hi, my name is Astri Wright, and I'm the guest curator of this show. And I teach art history at the University of Victoria. And my research has been to work with living artists in different parts of the world. So I love working with artists, I love curating shows, and I've really enjoyed working for the second time with the Community Arts Council to create this show. And the first time was in 2008, and Paul Scrivener at the time asked me to do a show for International Women's Day. And we put out a wide call and got over 70 artists that Pat Martin Bates and a couple of other people and I were the jury for, and selected a big, huge show. But that was in their old quarters, which were smaller than now here. So this year, last November, I thought, I would really love to do another show for International Women's Day. Paul isn't at the Community Arts Council anymore. Who is there, I wonder? Stephanie Eisenbrown, who is a former student of mine. And who's also there is Bryn O'Hare, who also has an MA from our department. And so here we had this chance to do kind of a university-community collaboration. So the idea was an inclusive but still juried show for International Women's Day. And my main thought then that we put out, I came up with the title, Women Hold Up Half the Sky, which is an old Chinese saying. And Mao picked that Chinese saying up because Mao was trying to promote women as equal to men in science and engineering, and he was trying to promote workers as equal to intellectuals and so on and so forth. So I like that image. And the image in the title has engendered a lot of feedback. One man said, well, statistically they hold up more than half the sky. True. And Nutchaltnut First Nations elder, she said, well, they hold up half the sky maybe, but they birth everybody. So that was the beginning. And then the question that I sent out with Stephanie and Bryn, who are the co-curators, was how can you, women artists of Vancouver Island or the Gulf Islands, think of your art as having active agency to promote or inspire the change you want to see in the world? So open-ended, right? But still, something to do with positive change. And some artists wrote to me and said, well, I don't think my art fits. And I said, well, can you think of it this way, So basically the riddle and the question to the visitors here is, what is the text of the show as a whole as you walk through, starting over in that corner with the individual portraits, and then ending up here? You might say this is a bit of a pivot point where you have the mass action and sort of history's grief, and then you suddenly have an emphasis on beyond human connections with nature coming into the picture. But the human in nature, and nature as an evocative symbol in the feminine modality. And then as you walk further in, you get the conceptual and the abstract, and again, more nature, but more abstracted. So there's a whole theme from the individual portrait to groups of people in play, in jest, revisioning historical arts like the Greek vases, where suddenly there's a woman athlete in there, the dark images speaking to the transformation and the pressures and the lack of acceptance of human figures, particularly the woman's body, and then the political actions of scaling the walls that people build between different communities, and so on. And then you go into where we have spirit, the spirit of nature, the spirit of people, as well as some comments on the biological flow of the blood of women, which is shed without killing. So Of course, as an art historian, I can really go to town interpreting here, but it's really up to the viewers to interpret both what each individual work has to say. 70 to 75 artists here with 1 to 3 works each, so a lot of wealth. Vancouver Island and Gulf Islands women. Some three-dimensional works, such as over here, little carvings, some masks, and these chairs here, which are only 3 of about 30 chairs that the Salt Spring artist over there, Amara Gabriel, is making. So I invite people to come and enjoy the riddle of making out for themselves what the largest text is. And don't forget to look in the windows as you leave the gallery and look in and look at the banners that are all along the bottom there. And this is a banner of Women of the World painted 20 years ago by Anne Rosemary Conway, who also has a few more works in the show. And if you see this before March 6th, come, and if you're in Victoria, come and celebrate with us from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday, March 6th, when we'll have some short talks and some poetry readings and prose by some of the artists, and we'll also have a procession through the gallery as a kind of homage to the activist nature of art on the move.
The what?
Who cares?
What is it? And then what? Yes. This really is a space. Yeah, I have another space.
I'm very drawn to charcoal. Look, it's decoupage. Look at all the little fish. Are they the stickers that you get? These are the stickers you get on your fruit. That's pomegranates out of Mexico. I wasn't going to give you a surprise. Look at the turtles. How are you?
I was just thinking about you yesterday.
Yes.
Good to see you. Good to see you. I stopped by your.
When there is some building, you know.
Yeah, because
Yeah. Very good.